everyone. So, welcome, Namaste. I'm just going to start straight away because today is about better sleep. I've had a few questions come in, and there's students of mine who really struggle with sleeping well. So, the best thing to do, I'm just going to change this so I can see better. Okay, the best thing to do. Anyway, I'm not watching myself. What you need to figure out is what is causing it. So, is it because of eating patterns? Is it because of the way we go to sleep, the things we do before sleep? Could we have parasites? So, I know I had parasites about 15 years ago, and that was really damaging my sleep. So, if you have the suspicion of parasites, go get a stool test. You'll notice it if it's according to full moon. So with the full moon, you'll have worse sleeping patterns. Why can't I go up? What is all this nonsense? Go away, go away, go away, go away. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's it. Now I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So the way we can help ourselves is physiological, because if you think about it, if our hormones are being dysregulated, which is usually the case with sleeping pattern problems, it moves through the water system, and that's why the moon will affect how we sleep and if we have sleeping issues. But one thing you want to remember is that we don't actually sleep 8 hours in one go. It's very normal to wake up 2-3 times a night, but usually we are so sleepy still that we don't notice it and we fall back asleep. But with people who have sleeping troubles, they're very sensitive and they'll wake up for the smallest things. So that's what you want to avoid. And to help that, we can do different things. So managing our energy, realizing that in the morning you want to wake up quick. So you want to do things like very vigorous exercise. Cardio is something I do just 10 to 15 minutes a morning on most mornings, just to get that energy going. Especially if I feel drowsy, that's when you should do it. And then at night, and even like 3 hours before you're thinking of going to bed, slow down. Don't go do anything quickly. Don't spend even half an hour. I did it again last night. I spent half an hour on the internet doing some work stuff, and that just gets your brain too fired up, and then you can't fall asleep easily because all these things bubble up. And for sure, that's when we're most creative. So that's when we like to do those things. But it's not a good habit if you have sleeping issues. So that's something you want to change, maybe just for a year or so. Learning to quiet the mind is another thing you can do. Relieving physical stress. So we're going to do some movements in a minute that'll relieve the big muscles of the back body, because a lot of our tension and our worries are in the back body, the part of us that's unconscious. And so we keep that there. And if we don't do some of these stretching and opening of the big muscles just before going to bed, so it doesn't take long. You will see it takes 2 minutes to do this sequence. It's very effective. I do it most nights, and when I forget, I definitely notice the next day. Slowing our breath down, so that affects physiology and the amygdala, the parts of the brain that are more alert. Mindfulness. Better pain management. So also, again, listening to our pains, listening to our body, moving throughout the day, at least every hour. But it would be good if you could, every half hour, set a timer and move about to release any tension build up within joints that will cause later pain. And gain understanding of what is causing your sleep issues. So is it the habits you have before you sleep? Is it your food? Is it stress? Is it relationships? Could be so many things. But try and rule them all out. I had just written it down. Where did I write it down? Let's see. Yeah, you want to rule out unresolved emotions, digestive issues, because your digestion affects the physiology, and that again affects your whole biorhythm. Parasites, just bad sleep habits, eating habits, so sugar, dairy, and carbs. When we eat too much of that, it will make our brain work on only sugars. And because the sugar is burnt up within 4 hours, we end up waking up in the night because the brain is seeking for energy. And if we've gotten used to only getting our energy from sugary foods, like even dairy and carbs, they are digested very quickly because there's that sugary element. So you want to start learning, teaching the body to work on proteins and oils, fats, and then it can go through the night. It can do the 6-8 hour kind of sleep. And all of these things, okay, and exercise is really important. Doing enough exercise will get that physiological body, so your chemical body, back in balance, and that will eventually level out your biorhythms, which will then affect your sleep. Okay, so concentration is another thing that will help the mental calm at night. So it's best to do the concentrating activities in the morning. Like standing on your head is very good for concentration. Staring at a candle or just visualizing in the mind are very good things. And I would suggest more kind of breath orientated meditation or another guided meditation. Yoga Nidra is really good. But with Yoga Nidra, it depends. Some people, like for me, it wakes me up. I just become too conscious and then I can't fall asleep. So it's better if I do Yoga Nidra when I'm really tired in the day, around 2-3 o'clock. Or you can do it in the morning just to come into a more Zen mind, and that carries throughout the day. Okay, so we're going to do this very short practice. The first one is on your hands and knees. And again, it's always this vagal nerve. So this is one of the major things. It's not the only tool, but everyone's talking about it because it's very effective. Okay, so as you breathe in, lift up the chin and chest. And as you breathe out, moving from the tailbone first, and then the back curls, and then the head comes last. And again, same when you come up, tailbone goes first, it rounds and curves the spine, and that lifts the head at the end. So just doing that 3 to 5 times. So what it does, especially if you're working from the tailbone, it really grounds you. You become present very quickly. Move you from the mind into the body. Breathing out, you can even use the out breath and go slower. And with the in breath, just let it be natural. And with the out breath, really be intentional, slow, extending that out breath. One last time, breathing in and out. And come back to middle slowly. And then lift up your right arm and your left leg. And just hold them up for about a minute. And keep breathing and extending the neck. So feel that your head and the crown of your head is in line with the sacrum or your tailbone. And if you want, you can gently pulse the arm and the leg. So you don't want to do any quick movements. You want this to be slow, smooth, so that we stay in that parasympathetic activation and then come down. So that wasn't a minute, but you can do that for a minute. I would suggest that you draw these poses on paper, make those silly stick figures, and that way you don't have to use the screen. Avoid the screen. So do this, you can do this like 10 minutes before going to bed. And again, if you feel that you want to move arm and leg. And so what this does, it's really good for connecting the left and the right brain because you're using two different sides of the body. And why is that good? It's good because of the gray matter in the brain creates that bridge, and that is calming for us. It helps to resolve stress, trauma, anything like that. This usually thins out when we're chronically stressed. So to increase that is by doing these opposite movements. Okay? And then we're just going to come onto our elbows. Don't know if you can see me. It's a Sphinx. So you want to come into that Sphinx pose, lifting the chest up, and just lie here for a minute. So do each pose for a slow minute. And just allow the body to arrive. Feel yourself on the floor and allow yourself to become heavy. So don't worry about being light and happy. It's good to be sad and tired and heavy at night. That's the whole point. If you notice, for example, if you stay up too late, it's like a child. They usually get whingy and they see all the terrible things. And we do the same. Our mind starts focusing on the negative because we're actually tired. Okay, so that's a good time to go to bed and face the day tomorrow. And just feel the front of your body opening, the chest, the belly, the rib spaces. Breathing in fully and breathing out, really emptying, settling, arriving, centering. And again, breathing in and out. So the next one we're going to do, I'm going to lie on our back. And you're bending the knees. You have them about hip width apart. You're just going to put the feet as wide as the mat, placing your hands on your belly. Here so you can see me better. No idea if yes, you can still see me. Okay. Okay, and so just arrive first. Before we start to move, see if you've actually landed on the ground. So usually we just go from one thing to the next. Always take a resting breath between each movement, allowing the nervous system and the actual body to land on the floor in this space, in this moment. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the arms, lift up the bum, and as you breathe out, slowly roll everything back down. And just do that 5 times. You can bring the feet a little closer towards each other. Just make sure the knees don't have any pain. You don't have to go high. It's not the point. The point is rolling that spine and feeling your body, breathing and moving with the breath. You can imagine yourself just being lifted and gently landing through this wave. So there's a wave lifting you up as you breathe in, and you come back down with the wave onto the shore, landing one more time, breathing in and landing. And just arrive, take a resting breath again, feet nice and wide. And allow the spine to arrive. Feel your shoulders, your head, the neck, the back, resting. Feel the breath underneath your hands. Again, feel that rising and falling of the breath. And then we're going to bring those feet together. Extend one leg. So depending on how flexible you are, it's not about flexibility. What we're doing here is, so we've used those muscles, we've lifted up, and now they're nice and warm, and then we can stretch them. So if this is all you can do, just hold your leg here. I want you to stretch the hamstrings and the calf muscles. So if you keep that knee bent, it's better for your lower back if you have tight hamstrings. If you don't have tight hamstrings, of course you can just extend that leg, but again, like I said, that's not the point about the flexibility. It's about stretching in the deep parts of the leg where we hold all that tension all day. Okay, so just staying here 1 minute with the one leg. Use the breath to stretch the skin, stretch the muscles, and also notice if your hip is turning up and in. Try and bring the thigh away from the ribs. Okay, so you're opening here, you're creating space in this part of the body. And then once you've done a minute, you change legs. And again, just notice, lift, see what's comfortable for you. If the stretch is too intense, take a rope, a belt. You can use a tie or a sock and just hold it like this. The reason you want to hold it with two hands is so that you can open the chest, and you want this length so that the arms can drop into the floor. You don't want to lift the shoulders up because then you're tensing the front of your body. You just want to relax and stretch that leg. And then stay here breathing again. Think about that hip rolling upward. Okay, it's going to do that so you don't go into those hamstrings. The body's very clever. So just see your body is very intelligent. Okay, and you want to work with it. You want to gently coax it into a more integrated body and mind. And then release that leg. And just come into a Shavasana. Or again, bend those knees depending on your lower back. So if the lower back hurts, you can bend the knees, place the feet nice and wide, and just rest on the floor for a few breaths. Taking your time. So if you're doing this at night, take your time. Really rest a minute between each pose if you have the time, if you have the volition. And then slowly coming up to seated. Okay? Another thing you can do, which I forgot to say in the beginning, is Prithvi Mudra. So Prithvi is the earth element, that's your ring finger. Bring that to your thumb. And then just resting those hands. It's also good for increasing the smell. It's good for anxiety. It grounds us. Okay? So Namaste. I hope this is helpful. Leave your comments. Send me your questions. And